Happy March, Gabbers. It's almost spring.
Ta-da!
You know what my favorite part of spring is?
What?
When Starbucks introduces their lavender cold foam. This is actually starting out to sound like an advertisement.
For Starbucks?
Yeah.
That was really scripted. Did you come in here with that?
I came in here with my Starbucks cup full of lavender cold foam. I look forward to the little seasonal things that Starbucks does. I love the pumpkin. I love the gingerbread. I love the lavender, and I was missing the lavender.
I didn't know the lavender had their own brew.
You can get anything you want and put the lavender cold foam on it.
Oh, shut up.
Carolyn, it's phenomenal.
Lavender flavored coffees are amazing.
So will I get the chai tea latte, my classic order,
Nice.
and then I add the lavender cold foam, mix it all together,
What do you got?
and tickle me purple.
Tickle me silly. Tickle me nips.
But-
That's great.
Anyway, so I drank that on my way in, and like I was telling Carolyn before we started recording,
I was just about to
kind
say
of having
this.
an off morning.
Oh, that's not what I was going to say.
What were you gonna say?
I thought you were going to admit to our viewers what you told me so privately before this of your Starbucks bathroom code that you have.
Oh wow, we talked about a lot.
Starbucks has been on the mind today.
Well, fun fact, we were just kind of sitting around shooting the shit for so long. And then finally I said to Carolyn, like, all right, I'm going to text our producer, Rachel, and let her know that we're ready.
and I was just like, oh, she's not coming.
And Carolyn was like, she's not coming. And I just was waiting. And they very blatantly texted me and told me the plan that we were recording this on our own. And I just didn't
was
listen.
gabbing.
So yeah, we got some good gabs in. And basically what I was saying is I used to have a really long commute to work. And I would know like the codes of all the bathrooms on my way to and from when I would have to use the restroom.
To go number two.
To go number two. Sometimes number one.
Sometimes number one.
And I was just telling her about the Starbucks code.
And now the cold foam, not sponsored, but could be.
But could be sponsored. Before this, I was telling Carolyn about this video I made on TikTok recently that people were coming at me like, I can't believe you didn't know this. I can't believe you didn't know this. And I wouldn't tell Carolyn what it was. I was like, I'm going to save it for the pod to see if you know. Are you watching White Lotus?
Yes.
Okay.
I haven't watched this week's episode.
It doesn't matter, but good warning. You know the character Mook? She works at the hotel. Mm-hmm. Do you know who that is?
Only because of your TikTok.
Oh! I told you, trolls. I told you. So you did see it.
I had no idea about any of that.
So Mook is Lisa from Blackpink, and it's funny because look, I'm not in the zeitgeist of this shit, and I know that it's not niche. I know that Blackpink is like a fucking worldwide superstar group, but I didn't know.
I didn't know that. Just so we're aware. I'm not famous, so like you can like I didn't know
Well,
that.
neither did the creator of White Lotus, according to my TikTok. He had no idea who she was.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, he was like, I didn't know who she was. I heard people in like production, on the production crew, were excited about it. I knew she had a lot of security, but like I didn't know. It's like if you don't listen to that kind of music, like how would you know?
Wait, the director said that?
Of White Lotus.
The director didn't know he hired a
the
pop
creator.
star?
Yeah, no. I mean, I think he knew eventually, but I think when she auditioned and stuff, he like didn't know.
Oh, that's hilarious.
But I guess like, look, I mean, think of it this way. Like, I don't know. I'm trying to think.
You
of,
haven't
like,
said what people have gotten mad at you. Oh yeah, you have. They were just mad at you because you
I
didn't
didn't know.
Who she was.
I didn't know, and they were like, "Are you fucking dumb?"
I,
And in the video, I did say, I was like, "Look, I know I'm living under a rock here."
You're not. You're still you're letting this get to you.
Look, guys, I'm pretty good at not letting the comments get to me, but today's been a day.
Today is one of those days, and today's a good reminder that influencers, they're just like us.
They're just like us.
They have feelings too.
Anyways, the comments got to me today. Okay, so you didn't know either, and I think a lot of people didn't know.
Just be nice with your words, people. They matter.
I was just trying to educate.
Yeah, it's okay.
Turns out I was the one that needed the educating.
It's all good. We'll cuddle. It'll be fine.
How are you?
I'm doing great.
Thank God one of us is.
I mean, for once in my fucking life, I'm doing fantastic.
Also, you look really cute too. You took your boots off, but you had the platform Uggs.
Oh.
Was it you that was telling me No, someone else. Oh,
I think it was me and Sydney.
That rolled your ankle?
No.
So my friend was telling me that she was wearing them and she rolled her ankle. And then Sydney actually, our friend Sydney, we always talk about on this pod, was like, dude, I feel like I'm rolling my ankles every time. Because there's no support. It like ends at your ankle on their platform.
Yeah. Surprisingly, I haven't done that because I roll my ankles all the fucking time.
Yeah, you're quite accident prone.
I am like, who's an accident prone character? That would be funny to
Scheana?
say. I am Scheana.
Literally
like we discussed
Scheana.
last episode.
Yeah.
I am Scheana Shay 2013. till now.
You've never grown out of it.
Exactly.
I'm trying to think if I have any like fun Kate news in life.
I know we haven't really gabbed the last two.
Oh, I'll tell you something. So Dan, my boyfriend, had an ablation, the heart surgery I was telling you about. So he's taken the month off from drinking, which means designated driver. And I've been taking that really literally.
Yeah.
And I've been
using it.
I've been drinking, okay? Because I'm normally the driver. I'm not like these days, I'm not huge into getting drunk because I really have been getting hungover. So anyways, we went to a party on Saturday. Oh my God, and it was so much fun. It was a friend's birthday party. And they live in this humongous house in Echo Park that was like a mansion. And they had this huge yard, and then there was this little house in the back. And I'm like, I'm gonna go find out what's in that house.
What was in it?
So I walk into this house, and there's just all these guys. This sounds like the start to a bad story, but it's actually not. And there's all these guys sitting around a computer, and it was like a soundproof room. Oh, this actually really sounds like a bad story.
It was a studio.
It was a studio. It was a music studio. And they were like, yeah, we're like recording just like a funny, like, fuck it type of track. Like,
love that.
Do you want to be on it? And I was so drunk. I was like, yes, 100%.
Stop.
So
Can we listen to it?
I dropped 4 bars. It may never see the light of day.
What were they? Do you remember?
Okay, here's the weird part. I was like, what's the topic? And they were like, sucking off. So I was like, okay.
Oh,
all I remember is I started off, my first line was absolute fire in my drunken mind. It was probably horrible. You know how you imagine things differently when you're drunk? So I remember my first line said something like I started like, oh, sorry, I had to cough. I just walked in and found out we're talking about sucking off or something like that. And I was like really proud of that.
Wow. Oh, did you come up with it yourself?
Of course I did.
You are so talented in so many ways that we don't even know about.
I love to rhyme.
But
again, if it ever sees the light of day, 1, I'll be done for. I'll never work in this town again. And 2, it's probably bad.
It's okay. It's better than Boner Garage.
It's better than Boner Garage.
Or is it? I don't know.
Boner Garage is kind of iconic.
Boner Garage, yeah. And I was going to say, I should put that in positive category.
Throwback to previous Vanderpump Rules episode. Oh, and before we recorded, I said to Carolyn, have you heard the new Jax Taylor news that just dropped literally like 2 hours before we recorded?
And I said like a little schoolgirl, no.
That is exactly how you said it. You went, no.
I usually hear about it very soon because I have a problem with TikTok.
So Jax went on the Bravo Hot Mic podcast, which is, first of all, the most random podcast ever because it's not a consistent podcast. It's just like a Bravo-led podcast where it's like through the network where whenever people just have like things they need to say, they go on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Jax has been on it before. He goes on and admitted, this probably won't be much of a surprise to you, sadly, that since he was like 23, he has been addicted to cocaine. And he's now like 83 days sober or something like that. And the surprising part to me is that he's saying it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm actually really surprised by that because it took him this long to do it. I mean, we all had assumptions that there was stuff going on behind the scenes, but man, that's a big step for him, I feel.
Yeah. I mean, I think, and I didn't really get much of a chance because it just happened like to read, but I think Brittany already came out with a statement that was like, you know, it's been really hard co-parenting with him, and I'm glad that he's finally like addressing what's actually been going on.
Yeah, I'm sure that's hard for her because she wants to protect him, but I mean...
Well, and her son,
yeah,
too.
Exactly.
But I don't know. It's funny because hearing that, but then watching these old school Vanderpump Rules episodes, like, I'm not surprised that he's admitting this. Like, Jax is someone that will admit his faults to make people feel bad for him.
Yes, but he could have used this one. He had this one in his pocket for many years.
That's a good point. He could have said that at any time when he was getting in trouble about stuff.
And again, he's pulled out other things from his pocket throughout the years, but he never did this one.
Yeah.
If he really is 83 days sober, that's a big deal for Jax.
It is. And the fact that he's not really in the news right now, right? It's not like anything bad happened.
Except for his beautiful social media.
Well, his social media, but that's iconic now. But his social media is iconic. So, yeah, I mean, I agree. I think it's a good thing.
That's great. Well, it's always so weird how, like, life mimics art. How stuff happens in real time when we go back to these episodes that kind of coincides.
Yeah.
Because this is the episode where Jax goes to therapy and admits that he's a sex addict,
right.
basically.
Wow, 2 admissions in one day.
Yeah, it's a lot. We've seen this man admit many things.
Before we also get into Vanderpump Rules, the big Southern Charm news right now is the drama that's going on between JT, Venita, and JT's girlfriend.
So she's a girlfriend. She's a full stop girlfriend.
She's full stop girlfriend.
And
apparently,
still is.
It
Wow.
still is apparently.
Okay.
So Venita's been going on a bit of a podcast tour right now,
Nice, Venita.
explaining her side of the story with JT and stuff. I will say the timeline's a little confusing.
Okay.
So first, are you caught up on Southern Charm?
Yes.
Did you hear, you know how in the most recent episode, it was the most recent episode by the time we're recording this podcast, she like goes to his room in the Bahamas and straddles him.
Yes, and he's like, he says no.
After he already told her that he had a girlfriend.
Correct.
She said that those scenes were actually swapped. And the scene where he goes to her house and he reveals to her, I'm actually been seeing someone, that happened after the Bahamas trip. But production, editors, whatever, made it seem like it happened before.
But they had his talking head say that he said because he has a girlfriend, he can't do this, right?
But, yes, but I don't know that Venita necessarily knew he had a girlfriend at that time.
It's just editing. Oh my God. That is juicy.
It's juicy, but then at the same time, there's a lot of online discourse about this because I see like people saying like, well, why would you go in there and just straddle him anyways? And I don't know. My thing is like, JT, if you are seeing a girl genuinely, don't invite Venita in your hotel room late at night without cameras.
Well, my thing is, what is the girlfriend saying?
Okay, so now the girlfriend is saying that she met Venita pre-filming.
Okay.
At a dinner with Venita, JT's mom, and her. And she was introduced as...
Wait. He went on a dinner date with the girl...
Venita, the girlfriend, and his mom.
That was a hazardous situation. Okay, keep going.
And allegedly, his girl's name is Allie. Allie was introduced as JT's girlfriend.
At the dinner?
At the dinner.
At what point in time are we?
Pre-filming this season.
Oh, shit.
So Allie's saying, I don't understand the confusion.
Oh, shit.
She knew that I existed.
Ooh.
But... some other fans are saying JT is so flirty with you. He's using you for a storyline. It's like obvious. And we've seen conversations of JT's mom on the phone being like, is Venita going to be my daughter-in-law or your future wife or some things like that?
This is messy.
So if JT's mom knew this girl was a girlfriend, why would her mom be saying that unless she doesn't like her? Anyways, it's so confusing. Venita also said that her and JT dated after filming for 2 months, but they never did anything physical. So I'm like, is that dating?
Okay, hold on. So when is the girlfriend saying it was official? So did Venita and the girlfriend simultaneously date him?
Yes, that's what I'm thinking. The girlfriend is saying that they were dating the whole season.
And Venita's saying, by the way, we also dated for 2 months, but nothing physical happened?
Venita is claiming she did not know that JT had a girlfriend.
This makes no sense, Kate. None of what you're saying is making sense.
It doesn't make sense at all. And I'm even more confused now that I say it out loud, but that is what I know. And that is what's being said. Now, I will say, JT was like, when they had that Branzino dinner, he didn't say, I have a girlfriend. If I recall correctly. He said, I'm kind of seeing someone.
But he also made the very good point of, if I were ever with you, you wouldn't want to be with someone who cheated on their girlfriend to start this. So he did imply that there was something serious enough that would be a shitty thing to do.
Okay. Well, there you have it.
I don't know. Okay, so now whose side is the internet on?
I don't know.
A little bit of both?
I think the internet is on the side of, why the fuck are you both fighting over JT?
And by both, I mean, well, okay. Another question. Is the girlfriend still with JT willingly?
Yeah, I think so.
And that's my thing.
My thing is, let's take some of this blame off of Venita and put some of the blame on JT, okay?
Yeah.
Because he definitely egged this on.
Well, they both clearly were involved in something, and it was not clean cut. This was messy as fuck.
Right. And then, yeah, it was messy as fuck. It was just, I don't know.
If the girlfriend doesn't come out saying, I mean, is she defending JT? What is she saying?
All I know is that she said, I met her before filming. I have receipts. As JT's girlfriend, I met her.
Oh man, I want her at the reunion.
Yeah, the Southern shows are juicy. They're getting good.
I even caught up on Southern Hospitality, I think.
Tell me your thoughts.
I think it's amazing.
Amazing.
It's so great. There are so many new themes that I'm like, oh, I don't think we've seen that happen before. I love my husband, and I'm not really in love with who I'm about to say, but Joe Bradley.
Oh, you're in love.
I don't know why, Catherine. I think he's such a good guy.
You know who else does? Luann. The fact that he did cheat on his girlfriend. If he was a single dude and then got with Luann, I'd be bragging.
Oh, I forget that he
cheated on
was.
Danielle.
Okay, then maybe he's not as good as the guy.
Well, here's the thing. I think Joe Bradley's young and misunderstood. I think that he is
do people not like him?
Well, he's just a little messy.
Yeah.
He's just a little messy. I mean, I like him. I think he's a good person. I think I'm seeing a lot of consensus that he's been very good for Maddie.
Yeah.
But I think it's weird that they've been dating for 4 months and he's pressuring her to get married and move in.
Yes, well, I think this goes back to your fact of he's very young.
Right.
You can tell in these scenes.
But he's making her feel bad that he chooses to stay at her house 7 nights a week.
I could kind of understand that argument.
Then don't stay there 7 nights a week, Joe. Choose to stay at your own house.
It's a shitty feeling knowing that she wouldn't do the same.
7 nights a week away from your house? I wouldn't do that either.
Or that she wouldn't do 1 or 2.
It is crazy that she won't just sleep 1 or 2 nights at Joe's house, but that makes me think there's something wrong with Joe's house. I don't know. I don't know. They're editing it to make it seem like she's just not wanting to do it, which adds to the storyline of her not being as into Joe as Joe is into her. I also totally understand Maddie's point of view, which I didn't know that this happened, but that she got so much shit for moving in with Trevor early on, including from Joe. Yeah. And now Joe wants to move in with Maddie even earlier.
Yeah.
She was with Trevor for over a year and they moved in together and people gave her shit. But now they've been dating for 4 months and Joe wants to move in with her.
Yeah, but he is a lot better guy than that other guy was. But it's still too early. I think Joe, he just is jumping the gun here. He's wanted this for so long.
Yeah.
And now that he has it, he's going a little overboard. At least that's the perception it's coming off as.
You're 100% right. He's wanted it for so long. He doesn't want to give it up. He doesn't want to lose her.
He doesn't want to lose her. And now they're at a shaky point because she is rising and he is where he is. And he wants to lock it down before it goes any further, but it is a hard life dating someone in the public eye. I mean, they both already deal with that to some extent already, but if she continues to blow up the way she is, her life is going in a very different trajectory. And he even said that in the show. He said, if she's about to go on tour, I'd feel better if we were engaged because there's at least some type of long-term commitment there.
Which I understand that.
I totally understand that, but at the same time, that doesn't mean it's fair to propose after 4 months.
Yeah.
So I hope they make it through, but I mean, if I were a betting woman, I don't think I'd put it on this one.
Well, I do know that they both went to Kathy Hilton's Christmas party.
Who the fuck hasn't gone to Kathy Hilton's Christmas party?
You're looking at them.
I mean, what? Kathy, you have so many people. I'm like, how? They got the invite?
And they were together. It seemed like they went together. I don't know if they were together, but
I think they're good for each other.
I think they're good for each other.
I hope they do make it.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a long road. I wouldn't be surprised if they pulled a Carolyn and Kyle and broke up for a long time and found their ways back to each other.
Okay, real quick though, what do you think of Emmy and Will?
Give me a fucking break.
Yeah, I'm over these two.
I am over. I mean, I feel for the girl. She's so delusional. It's sad to watch at this point. Like, I do want us to go ahead and get to the point where, like, she's confronted with so much evidence that she can't. Then I was like, oh my God, this is so VPR, because I wonder if someone will bring the girl to her face, because we've seen that happen before, and that still wasn't enough to, like, sway Ariana.
Well, I think that Emmy is exactly like Ariana in that situation where she knows.
Oh, you think that they know together?
I think that she knows that Will is cheating. I think Will told her.
That would make sense.
That's the only reason. That's the only logical explanation as to why she would be riding for him so hard. And she's choosing to stay with him, so doesn't like that this is all being brought up on camera.
Yeah.
Because she can't. Will doesn't want the world to know.
I will say it'll go better for you, Will and Emmy, if you are in on this together, to tell the world it happened and tell the world that you're working through it and you're deciding to stay together. That's way more respectable than going around and making a whole ruse of it.
Yes. Well, and the reunion trailer dropped for Southern Hospitality and Will is not there. And obviously now everyone's like, great. Now Emmy is left to clean up his fucking mess once again.
That's so shitty, Will. Just show up.
We do hear Andy saying, so did he quit the show? But we don't know.
Well, okay, I'm forgetting at the beginning of this, but he worked at the restaurant, right? Mm-hmm. But now he's in law school, so it's a different thing. Mm-hmm. Okay. So
exactly.
Interesting.
Reality TV.
Don't you love it?
Okay, wait, real quick. One more thing. There's so much reality to talk about. Traitors. Do you think Danielle is being banished or she's staying?
And by this point that we're recording this, we are up to the final vote with Brittany, and it could go either way. I don't think Brittany wrote her name.
Initially, I was like, Brittany wrote her fucking name. There's no way. I know she wrote her name. That cliffhanger was too good. And then the more I thought about it, I was like, that cliffhanger was too good.
I don't think she wrote her name.
This whole season has been built up about the big Brittany betrayal. There's no way she wrote down her name. And I am seeing photos of those two together post-show. They had like a big Traitors lunch.
They're on such good terms.
They would not be sitting across the table from each other if she wrote her name down.
Yeah, I don't know. The way that their like relationship has unfolded, I don't see them betraying each other.
No.
At this point, how sad were you that Tom Sandoval went home?
Here's the thing, Carolyn. I was a little bummed. I was like, yeah, well, he played a good game. Then he sits down to do his little thing, and he's like, I was amazing. I was trustworthy. Everybody loved me, and I did so great. Like, Tom, you're supposed to talk about like that you're sad.
You know what it's straying from? It's giving doofus, but now he's just an asshole doofus.
Yeah.
That doesn't play as
Cocky
well as
doofus.
likable. Yes,
Yeah.
we don't like a cocky doofus.
Yeah.
We like a stupid doofus.
We like a doofus.
We like a doofus.
We like a doofus. And this guy decided to be a cocky doofus.
It's a different thing.
It's a different kind of doofus.
So that was hilarious. And then hearing, oh my God, I forget his fucking name every time. Zac Efron.
Are you okay? Zac Efron is, first of all, like one of the most famous actors of our generation. Dylan Efron. The Zaffrons.
The Efron kid. Who was that? Dylan said that we didn't even see all of the doll episode. He said that the second that they announced the doll episode was happening, you know, they have an hour before as they're setting up. Tom immediately starts doing vocal warm-ups to himself, goes over to production and asks for a cough drop. And they're like, dude, you've got to calm down. It'll be totally fine. You do not need to be.
No, you guys don't get it. This is his moment.
This is his moment. Sadly.
It's so funny. I actually have a comment about Tom Sandoval and his singing in this Vanderpump Rules recap.
Again, life mimics art.
Because he says some shit to Scheana, and I'm like, Tom, you're just the same.
Don't throw stones, Tom. No.
This is, let's get into the episode. This is Vanderpump Rules Season 2, Episode 6, titled Lisa's Angels.
Lisa's Angels.
We start off at Lisa's house where some of the Sur staff are there to meet up with Kevin Lee to discuss gay pride and the float.
Sure thing.
Let's see. Scheana's doing gymnastics in the backyard with a sprained ankle. Scheana, this is why no one feels bad for you. Moving on. This is actually my Tom Sandoval thing. So Scheana says, basically Lisa approaches Scheana and says, would you like to sing your song on the float?
Yeah.
Lisa, that is like asking if the water is wet. So Scheana obviously says yes. And then she says in an interview, my song is huge in the gay community. They love it. And then Tom Sandoval says, Scheana, you performed at a gay club in Chicago one time. That doesn't mean you're Lady Gaga. To me, I say, okay, tell that to Tom Sandoval and the Most Extras. Because you literally think you're the Rolling Stones.
Yeah. And I will say, I was so shocked that we posted a clip from our podcast episode about Tom Sandoval being more likable on the Traitors. And did you see that people were like, yeah, I'm going to his shows again?
Wow, I did not.
Because I like him so much more on Traitors than whatever. So I'm sure his ego is so inflated right now.
Well, he was smart. I think I've said this on this podcast before, but somebody told me on a TikTok live once that they were like, I think Brynn Whitfield from Roni should go on the Traitors. And I'm like, give it some time. She may get a lovable edit like Sandoval. It may bring her back. It may bring her. I'm just saying.
It could happen. For Gay Pride, they learned that they're going to have to listen to Scheana's song 88 times or however long it is. Did you know that this is actually a reputable form of torture? I'm not kidding. From the fraternity halls of my university, they would play the same song. Actually, they would do the same phrase over and over. And it was James Brown's, I feel good.
No.
And they would just have to listen to, I feel good. Over and over and over.
Are you serious?
To the pledges. Oh, yeah. That's an easy thing to deal with.
Well, did you watch the challenge 40 Battle of the Eras.
Yes. Oh my God, when they had to sing the song.
And they had to sing the song over and over and over again. Like that was torture.
That was really bad.
Damn. Wow. Okay.
Hard.
Well, Stassi even says this is torture, and
so
she's gonna impale herself.
They can sue.
So yeah, they're just kind of talking about this float. We'll hear more about that later. Then the boys go on a bike ride. They look like three little boys riding home from middle school. It's like the start of a Disney Channel original movie.
What I was wondering is who the fuck is filming this and how? Because you know they don't have like a rig set up.
No, they're probably sitting in the trunk of a car.
It is literally, I bet it's like a Ford 150 or whatever those truck beds are. And I bet they're just sitting there on the back.
100%.
With the camcorder.
I wondered, are they actually their bikes? Because I don't think we've ever seen these bikes again.
Well, also, you know where they are.
Larchmont?
They're not. Are they?
I think so.
No.
Where do you think they are?
There are no cars.
So I saw they're running on June Street, which is like Larchmont Hancock Park. You know those neighborhoods that they're like
really nice.
They're really nice, and there really aren't that many cars. That's where I think they are.
Okay, I was gonna say we're in the fucking valley.
Trust me, I would have been the first to say it.
And you would have, I beat you to it. So that wasn't.
But I think they're in Larchmont Hancock Park.
Well, that's so funny, and the idea of them brown bagging 40s in Hancock Park is even better.
In the middle of the street while they're riding bikes, they're gonna get a DUI. They're being filmed drinking and driving. And can't you get a DUI if you're riding? No, it's a scooter, an electric scooter.
I think you can.
I don't know.
I mean, it depends what endangerment you are to society, which I would argue all three of these men together.
They weren't an endangerment to society until Sandoval took his shirt off and started doing splits in the middle of the street.
Absolutely no reason.
That's when I felt unsafe.
Absolutely no reason. It was giving season 1 Jack's sweater fight scene where Tom took off his shirt for absolutely no reason.
Both Tom and Jax
did. I mean, it was fantastic.
But in this scene, Jax does have an epiphany that life is too short and he needs to start banging chicks.
Yes, and he just needs to get his dick back out there is what I took from that scene.
As he's a 35-year-old man on a bicycle drinking a beer. Then we go to Sur for a staff meeting, and my first thought is like, everyone looks amazing. Like every single staff member, I don't know if there was like a photo shoot before this or what, but I feel like they're all in like full glam, hair and makeup done. Like I'm now seeing the Sexy and Sexy Unique restaurant. Just an observation.
Oh, I think I could see it from day one.
They just looked so good in this scene. I just couldn't get over. Like everyone just looked good.
They're a good-looking cast.
Good-looking cast. Lisa introduces Ariana to everyone, which at this point I'm like, has this bitch not been working there for like 2 weeks already? I feel like we've seen so much of her. But I feel like Tom was outwardly flirting with her in front of the whole meeting.
He was.
When Lisa's like, she's a good bartender, and Tom's like, sort of a good bartender.
If I were girlfriend, I would be weirded out if he's doing that with the girl that is rumored to have slept with. Yes.
Right. And then we see Christina Kelly, typical Mean Girl fashion.
Oh my God.
Jax, what's on your arm?
Felt like a scene out of Mean Girls. The way she just like purses her lips.
Yeah.
Even.
Oh, I'm in love with her.
I know why you don't want to do it. Because you don't want everyone to see your new ink. And
whoa, the emphasis on the K.
It's so over the top. It doesn't feel real.
Ink. Wow, fuck, Carolyn, that was good.
Thank you so much.
That was
the Oscars
good.
were, on Sunday.
You're inspired.
And I've been really inspired.
So yeah, that's kind of like a whatever staff meeting. We just see all the hot people. We go back to Lisa's house. They're still working on this float. Katie and Stassi explain to everyone the true story of what happened between Ariana and Tom. Sounds to me like they think Kristen's being a fucking nut job over this whole thing. Mm-hmm. They said, look, it was 3 years ago. Kristen had people spy on Tom and Ariana at Villa Blanca, and she still found nothing.
I mean, I'm surprised she didn't catch them because she's normally so good at her job.
Here's the thing. She just sent her spies to the wrong place. Instead of sending them to Villa Blanca, she should have known to send the spies to the Golden Nugget.
Oh, the Golden Nugget.
The Golden Nugget.
Right, I forgot. Sorry, yeah, she didn't know. She didn't know. God, Vegas.
And then we see the float literally take a chunk of cement out of the ground, which
that was
crazy.
Intense.
Yeah.
Although there wasn't a toe under there, Scheana would get wrecked.
Oh, I'm surprised Scheana didn't find a way to get hurt when that happened. Speaking of Scheana, we go back to the recording studio, and the same sexual predator we met in season 1 is there.
Well, that answers my question of who is making tracks for her.
So
who are making these tracks?
It's that guy. So there was 2 guys there. The guy that was in front of all the gadgets. He was different from season 1, but the other guy that was there is the season 1 guy that's like telling her to make sex noises.
I also, when Lisa in the earlier scene said booty poppin' sounds like farting, we'll get a little blue low humor here, but I was giggling this whole
Carolyn,
scene.
I wrote that down and I chose to not say it because I was like, that is so mature. But yeah, Lisa says that she can booty pop in her wings, and then Lisa responds, where I come from, booty popping sounds like farting.
And in the studio, she's just like, it's not booty popping. I need booty popping.
Yeah, actually,
I was giggling to myself.
Oh my God. From now on, anytime you have to fart, just say, I have to booty pop.
I'd have to booty pop. Let's make it a thing.
When I was little, we called farts pops.
Oh.
We'd be like, I popped.
So you essentially started it.
Scheana?
You should be pissed at Scheana.
Give me my residuals. So Scheana keeps saying that she is performing at Pride. Now, granted, I guess she technically is, but she's performing on a float at Pride. And for those of you that don't know, Pride, I don't know if this was the case back then, but they have like actual performers. Like Kesha performed at Pride last year. So
Tuvalu.
Yeah, you're right. You know, I just learned that it was pronounced Tuvalu.
I was really insecure saying that because I didn't know if I said it right.
I always thought it was Tovlo.
I always thought it was Tovlo. I was obsessed with
Dan
Tovlo.
saw her perform and she said, I'm Tuvalu.
Oh, wow. God, I am a true fan.
You're really good.
Yeah.
And her message, so then the recording guy goes, okay, what's your message that you want to send? And I thought she was going to say something like, I just want to, be my best and let everyone know I'm doing hard work and blah, blah. And she just goes, my message, sexy, party, drinking, hot.
Girl knows her brand.
She knows her brand.
She knows that she's a marketing genius.
Next scene is at the Wellsborn. Peter and Jax have kind of a boys' night out. Now, the Wellsborn is a bar that's still around. I've been there actually many times.
I haven't been there in a minute.
But, okay, to me, it's not like a it's like not like a bar. Like, I would go for like drinks. I feel like it's classy. Don't you think?
Is it the library one?
Yeah, it's like on Pico. It's kind of near Fox, so I used to go for like after work drinks a lot. This is also the same bar because they definitely have deals with these bars, so they go back. It's the same bar that James and Jax did absinthe in later seasons.
Nice.
Remember that
Yeah.
scene? Anyways, it's a cute bar, very classy. Jax is flirting with these girls, they're ballerinas, and he decides, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna trauma dump on all of them. I'm actually 33 and I just got out of a relationship. Like, he's like, I guess it worked.
I will say, again, nothing related to that. He's like, this is when he admits that he's 33. I remember when I came to LA, I met with like a big agent. And he was 34. And I remember being so young in college. And I was like, well, trust me, you don't look 34.
And he probably thought you were giving him like the best compliment.
Here I am, 35, and I hate my younger self.
No, people do that to me all the time. They're like, wow, you like, this just happened to me 2 weeks ago. I told someone I was 31 and they were like, I thought you were like my age. And I was like, how old are you? And she was like, 28. I'm like, there's not much difference.
I went through airport security and they said some reference to me and I was like, what? They wanted me to do some type of cat dance? This is probably going to go viral as a millennial thing. I didn't know what they were talking about. And he was like, how old are you? And I was like, I'm 35. He was like, oh shit, sorry. You don't, there's no way you know.
Sorry, I thought you were younger.
I thought I was like 24. Like knew this thing.
It's so funny how like when you get over 30, it's like a whoa. Like, sorry, I didn't know. Like my boyfriend is 2 years younger than me. And this was a couple years ago, but I was at a party with all of his friends and they were playing beer pong. And they go, oh, what are we going to do about teams? And they go, okay, how about everybody that's over 30 over here and younger 30 over here? Which I didn't think that was like that big of a deal. I'm like, whatever, it's an easy way to split it.
I guess.
So I go to the over 30 side and they go, wait, why are you going over there? And I go, because I'm 30. And they were all like, what? We thought you were like 28. I'm like, what's the difference?
That's a 2 year difference.
It's 2 years. They were like, no way. And then, of course, they were like, well, now teams are uneven.
Yeah. Fuck, we thought Kate was in her 20s. Fuck.
Anyways, it's just, yeah. But later on, we do realize that this girl's 21 that Jax is talking to.
Which, I mean, it's surprise.
Yeah. He goes in for the kiss. Dina, she's here for it. That's the girl's name. Peter and Jax do bring those two girls home. Good for them.
Nice. Sick, dude.
Successful boys' night.
Hell yeah.
Okay, wait. I'm going to do a quick check real fast.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
That's with one vocal cord.
See,
bitch.
I could never get my voice that high. Ever.
Really?
Oh yeah, I guess I did. That's not good.
Be able to go even higher.
Like I can't
I
scream. Like I could never do like a. Like I could never scream like that. I always say if I got kidnapped, I'd be fucked. But you know what I mean? Like a shriek.
Oh, I could shriek the fuck. Well,
like, you know, in cartoons when like the uvula is like,
yeah.
Like I could never do that.
Yeah.
Let me try. That's about it. Seriously, I'm not kidding.
It sounded like you were retching. You've got to work on that. We've got to work on that for your safety.
Now I'm not going to have a voice later from that one. I swear to God. I think I have. It's funny when you and I first started becoming friends and I learned about all like your vocal cord stuff. I was like, fuck. Do I have something wrong with one of my vocal cords? I always say like one of mine's like broken because my voice, I lose it like every day.
Oh, wow.
I can't talk loud.
Oh.
Anyways, we're getting really off topic this episode.
Sorry. Where were we? We were at the Gay Pride Parade.
I've been looking forward to talking about this whole time.
Oh my gosh.
Because I can't wait, as if we haven't had enough personal stories this episode. I can't wait to share a personal story.
Take it away, Kate.
As two girls that both used to live in West Hollywood, I feel like we can probably relate to the West Hollywood Gay Pride Parade. So they're starting right on Santa Monica and Fairfax. Did you notice they're like right outside of Sur Gay Goat? Do you know where Sur Gay Goat is? Mm-hmm. And that was my block. My block, where they were at,
it's a good fucking block.
I would have been able to see them from my house and just put in perspective like this. You know, they were stagnant for a good period of time. They weren't moving. They were drinking. Like you could tell they were like getting ready for the parade. That's where they used to start up by where I used to live. So I would walk and just like sit there and just like watch like everybody like get ready.
That's so
and
fun.
I saw JoJo Siwa and I saw Cardi B. Yeah, like all getting ready and it's so funny. And then they go. So I just was like so envious of like, dude, if this just would have been 10 years later, I would have been there watching. Yeah, they were right outside the mechanic that I went to once they recovered my stolen car.
Oh,
so I got to see that again. I know. Good times.
Your old stomping ground.
Good time. Anyway, so I was just reminiscing. So yeah, that how they do it is still how they did it then is still how they do it now, where they line up the floats and I love the Gay Pride Parade. It's so really cute.
Fun.
I like cry.
Oh, that's great. I haven't been in a long time, but I probably would cry too.
This is where Scheana tells Stassi that her song's gonna play 88 times. And then did you hear their interaction? Stassi goes, "Go shit yourself," and then Scheana says, "Go kill yourself."
Yeah. I heard it.
Dude, they're fucking nuts.
I heard it. But it's a weird relationship of like they're serious, but not really, but they are.
And we do see this a lot in next episode too, where it's like they're shitting on each other, but they're almost kind of flirting with each other.
Yeah,
like they definitely don't hate each other. Stassi, Christina, Katie, and Danny are the A team. And this is, again, just such a Mean Girls thing of like a you can't sit with us type of thing. It's like, come to our float. Come be with us. Don't go to them. They suck. We're cool.
Yeah, it was super triggering.
Like, yeah, like, and it's like not a bit. Like, they're not doing a bit.
No, they're very serious.
Christina Kelly in her short shorts and her bikini top, she's so skinny, being like, don't hang out with them. You want to hang out with us. I would be like, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I would do whatever
so cool.
she said.
Oh, she's crazy. Then they finally get on the float, and Jax is bragging about his date in front of Stassi intentionally.
He knows 100% what he's doing. It's not even like we see through it. It's not a question.
And normally I'm like, Stassi, you're being a little ridiculous. But she does say later on, it's like, I don't care if you date. I don't want to be with you. But I don't want to hear you talking about it right in front of me.
It's a respect thing.
Yeah. So then she airs his ass out. And she's like, she goes, I love how it's so hive mentality where like Jax says one thing to annoy Stassi. And she's like, get off this float. No one here likes you.
Yeah.
And it's like, they liked him 2 seconds ago. And now they don't because you decided you don't. Mm-hmm. But it was funny because they get in this huge fight and they're like bickering with each other. And then it's finally calmed down. And then Jax looks at the girl next to him and he's like, so yeah, this date I went on. Like, and she's like, are you fucking kidding me? We just went over this.
It's very elementary school behavior. It's giving like 5th grade. I'm going to talk about this in front of you.
Yeah. The cuts between the different cameras were cracking me up because you have Jax and Stassi basically having a domestic dispute in the back. Mm-hmm. Then you have Scheana pole dancing to song 1 of 88 like in the front. Meanwhile, nobody is waving to the crowd. Not one person. And the float's moving. And they're all just fighting with each other. And if I were watching and I had watched season 1 of Vanderpump Rules at this point, I'd be like, exactly. This is what I want to see.
And you left out that Stassi is in this ridiculous headdress floozy outfit, as they say, and the guys are in these huge ass angel wings. Everyone's scantily clad. It's just, it's visually, it's a masterpiece.
Yeah. Oh, and Scheana's pissed off because Stassi's higher up than her. Did you hear her say that? It was very brief. It was very brief, where she gets a little upset because she's supposed to be the center of attention, but Stassi's higher up than her.
Well, I LOL'd when Scheana was like, I've got my own team. Like, as if she's rallied the troops. She has enough troops to equal Stassi now, which I don't know if that's true.
Well, she keeps saying that, like, Ariana is my ally. It's like,
yeah,
it's too much for me. It's exhausting. They get back to Sur. Jax, I gotta admit, he's cracking me up. I'm laughing out loud. He's sitting in that chair, and Katie goes, Jax, and he goes, I'm on my break. I don't want to talk. And then they were like, Jax, and he goes, did I hook up with a girl? Yep, I did. He is so over Stassi. He's so over the bullshit. It's kind of crazy how.
Though.
Well, you're right. He's not, because then it's revealed that he is blowing up her phone.
Yeah.
So outwardly, he's trying to make it seem like he is.
He's not over how he's not over it.
He's not over that. He's not over it. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I wrote that. His actions aren't matching up with his love bombing of Stassi.
Yeah. And like, if you didn't care, the biggest form of
flattery.
Yeah. Like, hate is not the worst thing you can do to someone. It's to be indifferent.
Yes.
And he hates Stassi, or he loves her. He said that.
Yeah.
I'll either wring her neck, or I'll want to fuck her up her ass.
Yeah.
I don't think he never said that.
I was like, yeah. It took a while for that to process. Yeah, he definitely. Hold on. But the whole wring her neck thing, he did say, and I was kind of like, I don't love that phrase.
That's not nice.
Yeah. After this alley scene, we do have a really quick scene that Ken loves the gays.
Yeah, I didn't even write that down, but I will bring it up. Yes.
I wrote, quick scene, Ken loves the gays. That's it.
Woo! As Kristen's about to say to Ariana, okay, rock on.
Okay, rock on. Okay, rock on. No, Kristen, I did not sleep with your boyfriend. Okay, rock on. Rock and roll. Totally believe you.
Okay.
I totally forgot that she said that. So what Carolyn is referring to,
I've got to calm down,
is Ariana. No, that's hilarious.
Kristen confronts Ariana because she found texts to her on Tom's phone, and she completely loses her shit.
So Kristen goes, I went through Tom's phone again, as she always does. And she needs to confront Ariana about what she saw. Granted, what she saw wasn't like that bad, but it was a little weird.
Oh, it was definitely weird.
So I did pause because at the end they show the phone, and I did pause it to like actually read the text.
Oh my God.
So the texts were, Ariana said to Tom, I just wanted to be Coachella again. And then Tom said, yeah, me too, about Coachella. Tom really wasn't giving her much. It was mostly Ariana. Then Ariana responds and says, we will have our own in my yard with a boombox. And Tom responds to that and says, wait, you have a yard? Which is like the most LA thing to ever say. And then Ariana didn't respond, or he didn't respond until like 3 days later. So it's like they were texting, but the way that Kristen interpreted it was a bit worse than it actually was.
Well, no, but it also wasn't though, right? Because isn't this history repeating itself with Coachella was when they had a little tryst, just like Coachella with Tom and Raquel was when they had their little tryst.
I thought they only had the tryst at the Golden Nugget.
Are there pictures of Ariana on Tom's shoulders from Coachella?
I think you're confusing that with Raquel.
No. I think there's definitely something
between
between
I think when they were dating. So Coachella is like beloved of Ariana and Tom. They love Coachella. They have so much fun at Coachella. There was a lot of Coachella talk with the whole Raquel Leviss thing.
But there was a comparison of like, isn't it funny that that's how they were rumored to have hooked up during the first Coachella too. I'll look into it, but
I wouldn't put it past anyone.
I really thought that was a thing. It was like, oh, well, look at history just turning back on its head.
I know, I wouldn't put it past it. So Kristen should have asked Ariana if she's ever gotten with Tom. Ariana says no. Kristen isn't buying it though. Kristen says that Ariana is being too chill, which I don't necessarily blame her, because Ariana has been asked if she's hooked up with Tom every single day since she's worked at Sur.
And she's working the busiest day of
and
the
it's
year.
the busiest day of the year. Famously. Now, I've never been to Sur during Gay Pride, but I've been to West Hollywood during Gay Pride. I've been to Pump during Gay Pride.
It's a circus.
It actually is insane. So I will say I've learned about an after the fact that Ariana has revealed that this scene happened very, like this whole Kristen fighting with her thing happened very shortly after her father passed away. So she was already going through like a lot of shit. And then on top of all of this, like Kristen is like coming at her. So it is pretty impressive that she did keep her composure during all of this.
I was wondering when we would get that storyline, and I didn't realize that we don't even get to see it play out. No, we just see the aftermath.
He passed away before she was on the show, but I think very shortly before, and that's what she said. Like, Tom was really there for me when my dad passed away.
Man. Okay, that does add another angle to it.
Yeah. So anyway, so Kristen says, okay, rock on. She decides to believe Ariana, but then not after she decides to have a full mentee B and tell Ariana, as she's crying, well, Tom fucked a girl in a shower in Vegas with no condom on.
It was like the rock on was like the robot like processing what to do next. It was like, okay, rock on, tears. It's because I'm insecure of you.
Yeah. She was buffering.
Yeah, she was
rock on. Okay, I know what I'm gonna do next. That was so random, and Ariana was just kind of like, okay. Like, how do you not expect me to think you're crazy? Sorry.
Ariana's good at holding her composure and shit like this.
No, she is. She was good.
Yeah.
Then we get the alley scene, which I spoiled. We already talked about that. Then we get Ken Loves the Gays scene. Spoiler, we already love that. Now we're back at Sur. Now, Kristen confronts Tom saying, Ariana told me fucking everything. Let's talk. Again, pulling Tom away from the bar on the busiest day of the year.
Hilarious,
but genius. She was trying to lure the truth out of Tom.
No, that's what I'm saying. This is her job.
Yeah.
She is an FBI. Well, now that there are all these layoffs, she
should work for the FBI.
There are open positions, is all I'm saying.
But I think Tom knows how Ariana feels about Kristen and was kind of like, there's no way.
Yeah.
She told Kristen.
Ariana would be like, yes, Kristen, I did sleep with your boyfriend.
You would think that the amount of times that Kristen has gone through Tom's phone, Tom would have had a better protocol hiding his shit, and Ariana wouldn't have found all that shit with Raquel. Like, he's had plenty of practice.
History repeating itself. Yeah. I feel like Vanderpump Rules is like on a constant loop every 3 years.
That's so true.
Like,
actually, very similarly to how, which I thought this was smart, Kristen, or how Ariana was saying, I think Kristen made up this rumor, told a bunch of people, and it circulated around for 3 years, and now it's coming back to Kristen, and Kristen forgot that she's the one that started this rumor to begin with.
I don't know about that.
Well, it is a bit of a tough watch because, yes, Kristen is being crazy Kristen, sadly, but they are all gaslighting her because they did hook up.
Well, yes.
And I feel bad.
Yes, but you must also remember...
Oh, you mean my final note? It is insane that this conversation is happening all while she's already fucked Jax at this point.
She's already fucked Jax at this point.
Yeah.
None of it makes sense.
It cancels out. It's a wash. Like, it is. We are on even playing field right now.
None of it makes sense. Oh, God, I'm so excited to keep watching.
Well, tell us about the list.
Let me pull it up.
Or the sheet. Also, we both have our Stanleys today. We're real girls.
We're real basic ass bitches.
Let me tell you, I would have never bought a Stanley, but I got gifted it free from Philo, a brand that I have worked with in the past. Not sponsored on this podcast, though. And I fucking love this thing.
Is it nice?
Would be sponsored, Carolyn was about to say. I love Philo.
I don't know about Philo, but I do know I am so hydrated due to this thing. Mm-hmm. And I have the old fashioned, like, I'm pretty sure there's lead in this. I should replace it. But
well, and also I don't do well at washing these, and like they definitely got some mold in there.
Yeah.
Worth it. You want me to be hydrated? I'm gonna get mold poisoning. It's one or the other.
Pick your poison, quite literally. Okay, caveat with this point sheet. I was not feeling well. I had a little bit of a fever when I did this. It's not my best work.
That's okay.
I just want everyone to know that, okay? But I'm gonna go through season 2, episode 6, The Crimes. Scheana plays her song 88 times at Gay Pride. That deserves her a point. Tom takes his shirt off unprompted, point. Jax brags about banging a ballerina in front of Stassi, point. Stassi and Jax can't stop fighting about Jax banging a ballerina during Gay Pride. Each get a point. Kristen unsuccessfully tries to get Ariana to confess with embarrassing crocodile tears. Oh yeah, Kristen tried to cry. Like, she also had no tears.
Yeah.
She was like... I felt really bad. She tried. Point. Kristen lies to Tom to get him to spill what he did with Ariana. Ariana lies about not making out with Tom at the Golden Nugget, 1. Kristen and Tom fight about Ariana at Gay Pride, 1-1. Tom lies about not making out with Ariana at the Golden Nugget, 1. Stassi and Jax fight in the Sur back alley about Jax banging a ballerina, 1-1. Stassi brings up the tattoo, 1.
The tattoo.
Kristen does all of this fighting after banging Jax. I gave her 2 for that.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, 100%.
This episode is pretty even split amongst our protagonists or antagonists, or they're interlocked at this point. Stassi with 3, Jax 3, Scheana 1, Kristen 5, Sandoval 3, and Ariana 1. Our running totals leave us to Stassi with 16, Jax at 25, Scheana at 14. So again, Stassi, Scheana close. Kristen in the lead with 27.
Wow.
So she and Jax are neck and neck. Sandoval 22, so he's behind but not by much. Schwartz 2, Katie 2, Ariana, I'm not sure. I'd have to, 3 or something.
Yeah, she's low on the board.
Yeah, she's low on the board.
Dude, if this is episode 6 and Stassi and Jax are already in the mid-20s,
yeah.
or not Stassi, Kristen and Jax.
It's only gonna get
They're
worse.
probably gonna get over 50.
It's gonna be an exponential curve from here on out.
Because one of them or both of them are gonna get a 5.
Yeah, I know. I've been waiting for the 5.
Yeah.
I almost gave it next episode, but I didn't.
Well, let's go record that one.
Let's go do that
so I
one.
can hear
Yay.
what it's gonna be.
That was such a natural outro, Kate.
Here, I'm gonna leave it at this. Rock on.
Rock
on.
Rock on. Rate, like, subscribe. Rock on.
See you next time. Bye. Rock on.